Hello! In this video I'd like to show you a quick overview of all the cities in Emperor of the Fading Suns. First I will at the end I might also tell you a bit more about this game you're currently seeing, but let's start with cities in general. So first thing that every city will do is it will provide you a defensive bonus and a regeneration bonus to the units that are stationed there. And on top of that, every city can also be used to produce some basic units, so engineers, militia regions, anti-aircraft guns, anti-tank guns, and artillery. Every city will be able to produce them. Alright, next I guess we can go in the direction of a unique building. So there are 3 buildings that there can only be one of each on a planet. The palace, which will collect taxes, and it will also show on the space map who owns the planet, like this. So it's I guess pink in this case. No, pink isn't really the right color. Purple, yes. So we know that I control it. And then next, I also know not having a noble here will also increase loyalty of the cities on the planet. Then we have a shield, which will protect the nearby hexes from orbital bombardment. And we have the church, which will slowly convert all the units on the planet to the selected sect. In this case, Orthodox. And its effectiveness when it comes to conversion is basically 10 times higher than compared to a clergyman. So it's still a rather lengthy process, but it affects everything on the planet as far as I know, even the enemies. Okay, next we have production buildings, particularly the ones that, I guess production resource buildings. They will collect resources from 2 hexes around them, and they block 5 hexes around them from different resource buildings. So in this case we can see that there is, let's say, some food here, some energy there and whatnot, and it's very important that you choose wisely what you will place, because remember, it takes the resources from the 2 hexes but blocks 5 hexes. In fact, you can see it here because the blocked hexes, it doesn't show any resources around them in this case, so it's very easy to spot. And sometimes you have to make decisions, like on this planet, as you can see, it's a desert, so this farm here is actually pretty good, even though it blocks some energy. But the thing is, as you can see, I don't really lack energy, but I lack food, so this farm is very important for me. It's a choice that I have to make. So that's for the buildings. Also production of buildings, and it also applies to the healing rate, is limited by their health and loyalty. And since buildings aren't constructed at full health, they will not have the entire production output immediately right away. Interestingly enough, if they consume resources to produce, they will consume the entire thing. Not this one. But yes, they consume the entire thing, but the output is limited by their loyalty and by their health, as I said. And the same thing with healing. So right, that would apply for all of these construction. Also, of course, you can, instead of farms, place at different buildings. I don't remember how it's called now, but it's basically just better farms as far as I know. Other than that, of course, you can just hover over the resource and you will see how much resource you will get from the hex. Then we have the buildings that will produce, I guess the better way to call it is they will process resources into new ones. So in this case, you're not limited by the area and anything like that. You just need to make sure they are supplied with resources and they will produce what they need. They are still, again, as I said, limited by their loyalty and how much health they have. Yes, so that would be the resource production. I think that's pretty much it. So that applies to most of the resources you see here. If they are processing some other resources, that's how they operate. Next, we have production buildings, cities. Cities is the proper name. We have the forts, which will produce your infantry units as you unlock them. And also forts provide additional bonus for defense. Next, we have the factory, which will produce your vehicle units. Interestingly enough, it will also have a bonus to how fast vehicles regenerate their health in the factory. A similar thing is the case with the spaceport, where it will give a bonus to a healing rate of spacecraft. And then for units that are producing the fort, you have the hospital, which will increase, of course, if they are in it, they will heal at faster rate. And also all three of these structures that heal, so factories, hospitals, and space ports, they also give a small bonus planet-wide to healing of the specific unit type that they are responsible for. But it's a very small bonus, but it's there. If you build a lot, maybe you will see a difference. And of course, if you build a factory near water, you will be able to produce naval units, which I believe is not the case for this factory. It has to be near like a full water hex, I think. Okay, so we have production buildings. There are also some special buildings like ruins that you can explore to get stuff, monasteries, and also specific faction buildings, so the Agora, where you can trade resources. We have also labs that will allow you to research technologies, and they store those technologies, so that's quite important too, to make sure that they are safe. If, for example, the Inquisition would like to take a look at them, although in that case you may want to let them just take a look at what's inside, rather than risk a war with the church. Well, not this button. But yes, as for cities, I'm pretty sure is that all. Let me just double check. Spaceports. I guess I can also mention wells can be placed on water. I believe that's the only city that can be built on water, so that's also worth to know. Sects, here's a monastery too. Maybe some nice artifacts in there, I will check it out. But yeah, I believe I went over everything. I probably should have made an engineer and checked. But I think that's pretty much it. The hospital, palace, yeah. Have the mines. Farms, yeah, then we have all the production buildings. I mean, in this case, just check what you need. It will tell you here, so you can know what resources do you need to make sure. Right now, I haven't actually started producing anything. In this case, processing any resources. And yeah, I think that will be it for the cities. Okay. Well, if you stayed for this long, I might as well tell you about what actually happened in this game. So the first thing I can already see is that I pretty much only really secured my first planet, and I haven't really done anything outside of it. In fact, things have gone quite badly, because under my first game, and I remember that from the first game I played, that there was ruins here. But for some reason, I thought it applies to this. Oh, that's another thing. Ruins, when you have units in orbit, you can see the hidden map of the planet. And you can see cities on it. You don't know what kind of cities they are, but you can see ruins. The thing is, of course, I didn't know that, and I ended up thinking this mine here is actually the ruins that I remembered about, and the ruins were actually here. You can see the artifact here that I got from them recently, and I also got this rocket artillery unit. And the problem, of course, is that I basically decided to ignore this until I will be ready to face what's in the ruins. But there's a rebel city here, so they constantly attacked and recaptured these cities here, and this one here, and everything got even worse, because somehow they got a destroyer in orbit. The rebels got a destroyer and they bombarded me. And I, for whatever reason, for like 15 turns, I was sure that this actually a naval ship, like some kind of naval battleship that I cannot see, because I was just so sure they can't have a spaceship. But they had. They destroyed one of my assault landers, so now this is the only one I have right here. The other one was destroyed. This one was also damaged, and kind of that's what when I was thinking, wait a second, how could they have attacked that? It was like in a place where there shouldn't be any water or anything. And that's when I kind of figured, wait, do they have a spaceship? And I checked the orbit, yes they have. And then, what's worse, it doesn't end there of course, I also lost a frigate while fighting that destroyer. So yeah, already lost some spaceships. It will take so long before I can build them, so it's such a devastating loss. On the other hand, I also, due to my kind of exploring different areas, mostly just trying to expand my production, like for example this mine here, and yeah, you can see I forgot to build the road, so I just kind of went here and did this little thing. There was a ruin here as well, and I got, I believe, an artifact, this one, the relic that increases the tax revenue. But I'm still researching technology to actually use the relic. I didn't expect it to get one so soon. And a similar thing kind of happened with this farm here when I was just low on food. So I found, hey, here, river, whatnot, nice place to build a farm. I sent the assault runner with an engineer here, and what do you know, there is a monastery here. And also I just got this relic from this ruin. Does it do unit pay reduction? Okay. I should have probably kept it with the massive army then. Okay, I didn't check what it's doing, but yeah, I'm now gonna go to this monastery, and after that I need to start planning for an actual space invasion, I guess, kind of the main challenge of this game, I guess. I'm not really feel prepared for it at all with my damaged space navy, and I just kind of placed my units in every city kind of to fight off the rebels. I'm not sure that was a good idea now. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, if I made any mistake about the cities or maybe there is something more, please tell me in the comments. And yeah, if you want to see more, like and subscribe, and maybe tell me if you want like a full series from this game. It's very interesting. Although again, I'm just playing with AI on basic historical settings. I didn't really change anything. I think the only thing I made sure is that the global warehouse is turned on, because yeah, I'm not dealing with logistics across space as well, and planets. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, I hope you have a nice day. Bye.